out there tonight?
Well, you stumped me now.
Check out our website, MannimalResearch.com. Thanks to everybody. Hello. How's it going out there tonight? Glad everybody could make it. Those of you that are watching it live with us tonight, those of you that will go back and watch it later, we sure do appreciate it. As you can see, I am currently by myself. My partner in crime, Mr. Walls, is lazy and decided that he would take his time getting here, but he should be here any minute. I mean, bless his heart. You can't expect too much from him. But yeah, I'll go ahead and get all this started without him. Tonight, let's do this first. I want to ask everybody to, if you haven't done so already, hit that subscribe button, if you don't mind. We sure would appreciate it, guys. We're still trying to get to 1,000 subscribers, and we've stopped. I don't know what's up, but we're frozen there right at 900. But our goal is to hit 1,000 by the end of the year. We were hoping to hit it by Christmas, but we'll try to get the end of the year. So yeah, if you could help us out, spread the word, guys. And if you haven't done so already, hit that subscribe button. When we are done tonight, head over to MannimalResearch.com. Check out our website over there. You can report your encounters. Getting information about doing some research of your own, getting out in the woods, out in the field, maybe becoming a member of Mannimal Research yourself. We're up to, I think, 4 states now where we have research teams. We have investigators that go out and do research, and yeah, it's a lot. It's intense, guys. It can be scary, as yeah, I'm sure most of you are aware, but it's fun. It really is fun. It's a good time. Get out there and get to Mother Nature and camp and all that stuff. It really is a good time. So yeah, guys, go over to our website, MannimalResearch.com. Get some info on doing that. Also, we are on Facebook. You can find us at Mannimal Research on Facebook. Again, that's Mannimal with 2 N's, MANNIMAL Research. Yeah, it's our Facebook group, guys. Head on over there and join up. Keep the conversation going about the big guys. And like always, guys, if you have any questions, feel free to ask your questions. Make comments. You know, we already got several comments going. We have some awesome people, loyal viewers that hang out with us every Monday night. But yeah, if you guys want to ask a question, we ask that you do it in all caps. That way, it makes it a little bit easier for us to spot you. So yeah, I'm just trying to kill a little bit of time to give our boy Walls a chance to get in here. As I'm sure a lot of you noticed, last week we didn't have a show. Walls and I took a much needed break. It had been a couple months since we had one, and there was some time we did a couple shows a week, so stuff catches up with you. And we had just done our 50th. And speak of the devil, I think our boy Walls is here. Not ready yet, don't look like. But yeah, like I was saying, we took a week off last week. Yeah, we needed it, but we're back this week, and we have a special treat for you guys. We have the great Miss Janice Carter back for part 2. She's the one that we did our 50th episode special with, and just had an awesome show with her. And a lot of people asked questions that we didn't get to. So here's your chance, guys, to come out, and we'll do our best to get to them. Let's bring our boy Walls on if he's ready. He looks like he's there he is. What's happening, little buddy?
Hey, man.
What's going on with you?
Just got to get back from the store from getting off work. Fixing some supper.
What do you think it is, man? You need me to take you off the screen again so you can get situated?
No. We're here for Janice, not me.
Yeah, you know that we do a show every Monday night. You know that, right?
Yeah, I also have to work, 5 days a week.
Yeah, working's overrated.
Yeah.
Get you a 9-to-5 job like everybody else.
I make more.
What you been doing, man? How's it been going? I'm telling everybody we took a week off last week. Got some rest, much needed rest. So what you been doing?
Not much. Just been fighting bronchitis. I got bronchitis now, but
that's good. Ain't nothing wrong with a little bronchitis.
Yeah, it's just the weather getting cold and everything, but really ain't been doing anything. We've been getting ready to go Gatlinburg this weekend.
Good deal. I hear there's Bigfoot up there.
Should be. I know there was in my anniversary trip. We had something going on, so
yeah. You sent me some pictures.
Yeah.
What was going on up there?
Well, we went up there. I wasn't. There's no internet, no nothing. It's just like when we going camping.
Okay, you're gonna have to move or something, man. That line's doing something behind your bald noggin there.
Well, I don't know. Turn the light off.
We are not the most professional show, guys, as y'all can see. Yeah, go ahead.
Well, we went up there. It wasn't going up there to. We haven't been trying to do anything with Bigfoot, but this stuff it's out there in Benton. It's basically on the other side of the mountain where we stayed for over in Alcoy. Mm-hmm. And it's basically there's no cable, no internet, no nothing. It's just they had TV there, but you had videotape and hot tub and all, that's it. Well, during the night I went out to the daytime and I kept looking and I see a little walking trail that goes down to the far down into the next cabin. So I walked down through there and I looked to the left and behold, there's a huge structure. I mean, like a teepee structure. And I go, holy crap. And I said, okay, I'm going to wander off in there. Wander off there, turned around back, looking like where a bank is at. There's a footprint. I was like, okay, what the heck? Found the X marks, found an old X mark. And then the first night when we was actually in the hot tub, we heard trees breaking, like something walking.
Wow.
The first tree break, we debunked it. I debunked it. Our next door cabin was breaking limbs. Well, after they went to bed, we heard something else. I was like, okay, well, that ain't them, and their fire's out, so what the heck? So I couldn't make a call because I was still fighting with an aggravation of inflammation in my chest. So I started whistling like I usually do it when we're going out. I'll whistle. Well, I whistled for a little bit, didn't get really nothing, and then faint, just a small faint hoo come out of the hill, and you could echo pretty good where we was at in the valley. And Jenna actually heard it. She goes, I heard that. And I said, you really heard that? She's like, it was a woo.
Wow. So Jen got broke in. Glad to hear it.
Yeah. Well, that's not the best part. When I was actually in the cabin, and during after I went and looked at those structures, we went back up and I went to go get store and came back. Well, they could have sworn her in because we went and got the little one. After a while, we went and got her, and both of them could have sworn they saw a black-headed figure looking behind a tree where I was at.
Oh, wow.
And I was like, and I was down there getting the fire ready to do s'mores that night. And we was like, I was like, no, you're pulling my leg. You're trying to be, you're pulling it. She said, no. And they were legit. Like you could tell by their face, like, no, I swear we saw something. I was like, all right, I'll go back down there. Went back down there. Heard something kind of sound like it was walking away in the woods, but couldn't really pinpoint where because it was so echoey. You couldn't really pinpoint. But yeah, we had that, and then she took some pictures at night, and that one picture I sent you, it looks like a figure way back in the back, real dark, but I can't tell if it could have been the flash or.
Yeah, I didn't have time to get those uploaded, man. I wish I would have now, so we could have shared them with our audience. Maybe we'll do that next week.
Yeah, we can do it next week. It was pretty good. I mean, I said I got to take pictures of this and send it to Wayne.
Well, how far was it that we're from where we went camping with Miss Janice and the old bear?
They go up the back way to the cabin. You go into Ocoee, and you remember Highway 30.
Mm-hmm.
You go, it's right there. That's Resala, Tennessee, or whatever. It's a little bitty town, Highway 30. You take up there, back road, way back up in there. But I found a quicker rate of Highway 30 off of I-41 that goes down to a little country restaurant. It was a little 20 minutes away. That's how I got signal to get it sent the pictures to you. But yeah, I'd say probably another, maybe it wasn't far, maybe another 20 minutes down the road from that Highway 30. So maybe 50 minutes, maybe an hour to our campsite. But it was, I mean, it's right there. It's right there at the Benton area. And I mean, it's there.
So as a crow flies, maybe 30 minutes, maybe half hour.
Something like that. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, we'll ask Janice about that. We're getting ready to bring her on. Hopefully it works out. We've lost her a couple of times while we've been talking this first 12 and a half minutes. She's lost service a couple times, but she's back now. If you're ready, buddy, we'll go ahead and bring her on. I don't know what you're doing. You need to.
I'm gonna mute it. Don't worry. Go ahead.
We're not being very professional right now, but that's what we do.
I'm having to do multitasking here. I'm trying to fix me some supper because I ain't had no food.
All right, we'll mute it. We don't want to hear you slopping down that slop, whatever.
Yeah. I'm gonna mute it. I'm gonna hear the story. I'm getting ready. Should have some popcorn, but I don't want to have popcorn.
All right. Let's bring her on.
Yeah, bring her on.
Miss Janice, how's it going, ma'am?
Going good.
Good. Can you hear us okay?
I can hear you. There's a lag in it, and it's bumped me off twice now, but I'm back. But it's like there's an echo.
Okay. Well, we don't hear it. So maybe I don't know if any of our audience members can hear it. Let us know, guys, if you would. But it sounds okay from this end. So if you're okay with it, ma'am.
Yeah. I think we can manage.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. Well, how's it been going?
Interesting.
Good.
I have to tell one. Yesterday, I went and met with William Henry, Ninja Dave.
Mm-hmm.
You've had him on the show before, and you all are very familiar with him.
Good guy.
And we went out, and he has a drone now that he can video with, and he sent it up over this area, and it videoed everything except this one area that we've been researching, and it cut out. Well, I get my phone out and try to video, and it cut off twice. Not until I was past the area would it record.
Wow. Well, what do y'all think it was? I mean, surely it's just speculation. Do you think something's messing with it?
Well, I do. And the reason I say that is we were in an area that we know that there's Bigfoot at. But we saw a different type of cryptid up there a couple of weeks ago, and it's hard to describe this thing because it looked like a deer, but it was horizontally black, gray, and white running down its body, and it was big. And And William went up, I videoed him going up to try to flush it out of the brush. And he got up next to it, and it did what we call cloaking, turned invisible right before his eyes. And there was some other people that were up there at this area at the time that we have no clue who they are, but it was a family. And they were like, what was that? What is that? What is that? What was it? You know, and when he turned around to leave, this thing, I could see it movement, the cloaking, shimmering type movement that they'd make, that the Bigfoot make, but it wasn't a Bigfoot. And I don't know what to call it. I don't know what it was.
Is that little thing that he drew and sent me a picture of?
No, this was a totally different thing. It was big.
Oh wow! Like what was the body shape? You said kind of like a deer?
It had a tail like a dog or a coyote, but not a bushy tail. And it was on all fours, and it sort of looked like the body. I never did get a good sighting of a head. The body sort of looked like that of a wolf or something, but it wasn't marked correctly for a wolf, and it was too big.
Too big, and it was on all fours.
Mm-hmm.
Now,
Guesstimation that this thing was about 5 foot tall, and when it stood upright, now it did stand upright, and when it turned to face William and turned invisible, it was larger than he is, and he's 6'3".
we got a quick question, real quick. Do you think the Sasquatch would know what these other entities are, like these other
They do.
cryptids?
They do. Some of them they do, and other ones they don't. I'll ask them, what they are, and they don't tell me. They either don't know or they just don't say anything.
Okay, that's a good question from Jennifer Oaks. Could it have been a dog man on all fours?
What?
Could it have been a dog man on all fours?
No, it didn't appear like a dog man. I've seen dog man multiple times. It was not a dog man.
Wow. Yeah. I don't know. I guess there was no way of getting a picture.
Well, no, because I can't get my camera to work.
Okay, and where were y'all at again? What area were you in?
We were in Anderson County, I think.
Tennessee?
Or Powell. Yeah, Powell County, Tennessee.
Okay. Okay. Did you hear the area that Walls was talking about before we came on over toward Benton? Not far from where we went camping. We had all that stuff go on when we all went together.
Yeah. No, I didn't hear what he was saying. I got bumped out.
You want to tell her about where that was and see if she's familiar with that area, Walls?
Yeah, it's actually over. I went to the town is right above Benton. If you look at if you imagine 411 and you go to the town of Benton and you take Benton straight back where the mountain is at. Little town it's called Reliance.
Reliant?
R-E. That might be it. Reliance. Yeah, Highway 30. Reliance. Yeah,
Reliance.
That's where we stayed in the cabin up there at Lost Creek cabin. You pretty much
okay.
And it's about 10 minutes down the road is the Hiwassee River.
Okay.
And that's where I stayed last weekend up there, and we had the structure. I ran into seeing the structures being pretty much about 20, 25, maybe 30 yards away from the cabin, right in a little trail area. So basically almost near, might as well say Polk County. I mean, it's in the area of Polk County, Benton. So
yeah, it's all Polk County in that area.
Do you know?
Now, are you familiar with that area, Janice?
Yeah, I am. There, it's loaded with Bigfoot. It's got dogmen. It's got other cryptids. It's got ghosts. A lot of areas in that area is haunted. They claim.
Wow, there you
Um,
go, Jasper. You just picking a good area, buddy.
Well,
yeah.
it wasn't for that. It was to get away from the anniversary, but
Well,
Well,
there are
that can be
bears up
romantic.
there too.
Do what, Janice?
I said there are bear up there too.
yes, I know that there was bears up there. I didn't see no tracks, but we did. The owners, they told us that there was black bears around. Not as many,
Yeah.
but at nighttime it's pitch dark like over when we was camping, and
Uh huh.
not a sound was around, no birds or nothing. And that's why I explained to her. I said it's completely goes dead at night.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it was fun. I mean, we had a good time, but yeah, we got all them structures. I had to send you the pictures here in a little while and let you check them out and stuff. But yeah,
Okay.
You
it
got
was
some pretty interesting pictures.
at least 30.
Mhm.
It was good 30. Actually, I probably got a picture where she took a picture from the porch to where I was at, where I was structures. It's about 25 yards away. It wasn't far from
Oh
her.
wow.
Yeah, it wasn't far.
Now,
Like they knew you were coming and they built those so that you would see them.
Yeah, something. I mean, I forgot to mention while we was doing s'mores, we got the whiff. Even and the girls can vouch for this. There was a whiff of a wet dog marking a scent trail come breezing through. And I was like, okay, I just smelt that. And they go, yeah, we smelt that too. I said, well, okay, well, it's either a skunk that just sprayed or we got an animal bobcat spraying and we're hitting the pheromones. But it was a very potent, strong, I mean, just like it just slapped me in the face, like, woo. And that's when she
yeah,
started.
That's probably one of them.
you and I,
Probably
were
Bigfoot.
talking about that not long ago that we had never smelt
Yep.
what everybody's talking about. Now, I've got this hair. I'm about to ask Janice about it. And this
Mhm.
hair stinks. And you just got a whiff of that stuff. So that's interesting that we both did it pretty close together.
I haven't even smelled
Anyway,
it.
Janice, did you get a chance to see this hair sample that I took?
Yes, I looked at it on the YouTube channel. I mean, not
Yeah,
YouTube, but Facebook.
Facebook.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
Daryl
I
Owen.
asked,
Yeah, Daryl
I
Owen,
asked if
myself, and his wife were out there and found
mhm.
it. Now, go ahead.
I asked if you happen to put it's up against a piece of paper or something or clothing or something, one strand to see if you could see through it, if it the medulla and everything, and I do see it on here, but if it had that transparency, you remember when we found the one down there when we were
Yeah,
camping,
yeah,
and we put it against other backgrounds, and you could see through it except for the very first part of it.
I did that, and it looked very similar to that hair that you showed me out there.
Yeah, I think it is. I think it's Bigfoot. No,
Okay, yeah, it was hanging. I mean, you can't really see it from that picture, but yeah, it was hanging from a branch that was
in the
seven and
brush.
a half feet off the ground.
Yeah. Well, it's like, a lot of the samples, and I used to be very good. I can't see as well as what I used to, but if you will look at a tree or a tree limb or whatnot, now, if it's not in a clump, it's like one hair will be laying up against the tree. And if you spot it in um, against the sunlight, it has that transparency that sort of makes it look like what I call the cloaking and the shimmering, but there's a sparkle to it.
A sparkle.
Yeah, like
Okay.
a crystal. Like if you were looking through one of the crystals,
Okay.
what are they called? Quartz, or I can't think of what the crystals are called. But you know how if you look through the oh what am I trying to say? I want to call it quartz crystal, but the white crystals, that they used to use, the Vikings did to navigate by and to tell them where the sun was.
Yeah.
Okay. You know how it gives off the sort of those rays and sparkles?
Okay, say that again, Janice. I'm sorry.
It gives off rays like the sunlight rays and the sparkle.
Okay. Yeah.
Their hair
Okay,
does
I
that.
got
Their hair does that.
perfect example.
Yeah.
Twilight,
Yeah.
the movie Twilight. You remember how Edward jumped in the sun and the diamonds off of him and his crystals crystalled off of it. That's
Yeah.
what she's referring to. Kind of like that crystalline glare off of it. I know what she's talking about. That's about
Yeah.
I don't know the name, but that was the best thing I could think of was Twilight, when Edward standing in the sun.
Yeah, that's a good example. I haven't ever watched Twilight, but yeah, that's what I'm trying to describe. And it's like their hair has that to it, and it's different texture from other animals too, and you all know that.
Yeah. Yeah. But this stuff, man, to smell it inside that Tupperware when it was in it.
Yeah, it's gonna stink.
Oh my goodness! Wet dog and raw sewage. If you can
Yep.
imagine the combination of those two, I mean, what else could it be, Janice? I mean, why is it 7.5 foot off the ground? Why does it smell that way? Why does it have this look to it?
Well, it's either one of two things, and it doesn't look like the dog man's hair samples that I've had. It looks like Bigfoot to me, you know.
Okay, I do have a couple of people that I'm gonna send some samples off to. Couple of people that I trust, that I really do trust. I know that when it comes to stuff like this, you can a lot of times throw trust out the window because you can get stabbed in the back. Especially with the
Yeah.
people that you trust might be good, but the people they're sending it to might not be. You know.
Right.
But I'm not going to send it all. Obviously, I'm going to send a little bit, and hopefully, we'll get some answers. And if you can point me, maybe set me in the right direction of somebody else to send some to, it wouldn't hurt to have some samples from multiple places.
Well, I do have a few people in mind, but I would rather put that in private message to y'all.
Yeah, that's what I would want to do. Just privately, you and I will talk about it.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. You got any questions for Walls?
I kind of do, but I don't know how to word it. I've had it in my mind all week long, and I don't know how to word it the right way. It's kind of one of them out there questions, I guess you'd say.
Well, give it your best shot, buddy.
Yeah, shoot.
Oh, hold on. Let's get this one right quick. This is a really, really good question that we've talked about a lot. Christy Sci-Fi gal. I think she might be new to the channel. I haven't seen her on here before, but she wants to know: do you understand Sasquatch words?
I understand quite a bit of their language. Yes. I'm not saying that I understand it 100%. And it's like different areas that I've worked with them in. Say, for instance, here in the southern states, they all use a trade, like a common trade language. But here in southern part, they have a different type of accent, if that makes any sense. That's what some of the northern ones do.
And they know a lot of English words, don't they?
Oh, yeah. Their English vocabulary is phenomenal.
But you were saying before that they talk so fast, so rapidly, that it's hard to understand them. Is that correct?
Yes. I think that for instance, I took one of my daughter's friends and sat her down here with Ron Moorhead's recordings from 1972, the Samurai Chatters. And I explained to her before I ever played them that you have to think of them as a Asian trying to speak English and blurting it out as fast as you would the Asian language, speaking it
Okay.
that fast. And I said, then listen for the English words and do not think big hairy monster. Think a human English language. And she caught on just like that. I mean, she could understand them in a heartbeat.
Wow. I got a yeah.
Are you
Here's a
there?
really yeah. Here's a really good question, Janice. I've often wondered it myself. From Bigfoot Mama, Janice, do you know why they build the teepees?
Yes.
All right, tell us.
Okay. Different teepees, different shapes are built for different reasons. The main reason for the teepee is the members of their family group that is in the family group. There will be a tree, a log, or whatever that they're building with that is used like a center pole of the teepees to make the teepee shape. And they'll either have 2, 3, 4, 5, depending on the members. The juveniles, they and the children, they use shorter sticks within the teepee formation to count them. It's a head count of the family members.
Oh wow, that's so interesting. I would have never ever thought that. Yeah, well, we've got some real good questions here, so we're going to kind of rapid fire through these if you don't mind. Yeah, your video is
Okay.
frozen, but we can hear you, so we'll just keep going.
Okay.
Here's
Well,
one.
it's doing that on my end with you guys.
Ma'am,
Hello?
what'd you say, Janice?
I said it's freezing you all up on the video, but I can hear you all fine.
Okay, well, Sandra Workman says, are the Bigfoot the only ones that leave the X's?
No.
No.
Dogmen will too.
Wow. Can you distinguish between them if you walked out there and you saw them?
I can, but it's a little complicated as to how to explain them. The difference on here without having visual pictures of them to show the difference, because they don't. The Bigfoots will meet in the cross. The two limbs or the two sticks that are made will actually meet and touch. Dogmen do not touch.
Oh, wow. Okay. Okay, well, let's go to another one. I've heard that they refer to themselves as the wandering spirits. Is that for all of them? Do they mean the Raphium? And I'm not sure what Raphium is.
No, no, it's not Raphium. They call themselves the people, which is roughly translated from the Algonquin language and the word Nermina.
What does Nermina mean?
The people.
The people. Okay.
Yep, simply the people. And I know that they identify themselves. Some of the Southern California ones, the ones up in Washington State, even some of them all the way up into Canada, into British Columbia. They do use that word to identify themselves.
Okay. Do the X's mean that's where they are living?
Not necessarily where they're living, but it means that that's where they are either have a habitat of anywhere from food gathering to hunting to marking the areas that, for instance, they say, okay, this is sort of our territory, and we come here to hunt, fish, gather herbs, dwell or whatever. Mainly where they have their homes, so to speak, at, they aren't going to have a lot of markers around their homes. They're very
Yeah.
subtle.
Yeah, that only makes sense. That they're not going to mark where they're living. They don't want to take a chance anybody finding it.
Mm-hmm.
All right, that was from Sandra Workman. Thank you, Sandra. We got another one from Christy Sci-Fi Gal. She wants to know, do you still interact with them?
I do, with the extended members of Foxy's family group, the Fox and Sheba's family group. Of course, Fox and Sheba are passed away. I interact with other ones that are in the area, a lot around Tennessee. I've had interactions with some of them more frequently than others, because over the years I've become friends with them, if that makes any sense. It's like I go up in, for instance, we were all supposed to go on a camping trip that got canceled because I had a relative that passed away from a brain tumor. Anyway, we were supposed to go up into Livingston area, so to speak, and go up there and visit with Grumpy and some of the Simpsons that are notorious for being jerks. But
Yeah.
it is what it is, and I still go up there and I interact with them because they become accustomed to me and I'm accustomed to their shenanigans.
Yeah. Very cool. All right. This one says, please tell Jan I say hello. I used to live in Monroe County, not far from the farm. Jan has helped me explore the county, directing me to different areas, warning which clans are aggressive, etc. And that comes from Mr. Jason Weaver. So he says hello.
Hello, Jason. Big shout out.
Very cool. Very cool. And all right, Walls, you want to try to word your question, or you want me to try to shoot some more out?
Okay.
Okay. Okay. We know how big Bigfoot's supposed to be, right? 12 could be 12 to 8, 8 to 12 foot tall, right?
Yes.
Okay. Well, how I don't even know how you really word this. It's been eating at me. It's back to the thing, the subject where the person that had an incident happen with her back in the day.
I know what you're fixing to ask. How well endowed are they?
Something like that, because I'm thinking of big animals, and I'm like, okay, are they? It's almost kind of like a joke in a way. It's like, are they compensating for something because they're so big, or what? Not are they? That's why it's been eating at me. Like, okay, are they just the same as a big animal? I mean,
well, they're like the average man, okay, and I'm saying this,
okay.
On average, it depends on your how to put it, your weight, your body build, and whatnot, and whether or not you're conditioned, so to speak. Some of them aren't that big at all. Other ones are more so.
Okay. Yeah, I seen Miss Oaks there talking about how big is their junk. I'm trying to word it properly, not.
I appreciate that, because this is a family show, and
yes.
It's
we don't need to discuss.
But I know it's just it was eating at me like, okay.
And I'm sure there's a lot of people out there that want to know the answer to that question. So I appreciate you being tactful and and how you put it out there.
Okay, thank you.
That works. That works for me. I can that can come. That answers me pretty well. Then I just know it. And the other question, and this is just a off the wall question. Do you, and you can answer just yes or no on question one. Do you think if there's a way we could possibly, I would love to sit down with, would you think that the person, if you would ever get a hold of them, would be able to sit down with us, maybe privately, just to talk
With them?
Yes. We'd hide the voice, hide the name, no names, no nothing. That's like normal, and keep everything identity. I wanted to ask it, but I'm scared. I don't want if it's a
Who
no.
are you talking about? Who are you talking about, Walls?
The story.
You guys.
No, the story. Us doing an interview with the person that had the incident happen.
Oh, the rape.
Yeah, but not bring on. Just like a private, and then it had.
Yeah, I don't think that would be possible. Do you, Janice?
I would rather not.
That's fine.
Yeah.
I had to put it out there. That's fine because I know there's people probably.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I respect you asking that.
Back, and I probably shouldn't say anything, but maybe I should too. Back in the day when Mary and I was together and she was alive and we were doing the research and doing the book, we did try to interview with some of the family members of this particular young lady at the time, and it didn't go well. It caused a lot of dredged up emotions.
That's what I was thinking too, but hey,
it never hurts to ask. It never hurts to ask.
My dad always raised me up, and a stupid question is the one you don't answer or ask. So
I appreciate you asking that question because that's a good question. It's just I can't imagine. That has to be the most terrible time of her life, the worst thing that's ever happened to her, and talking about it probably wouldn't be the easiest thing in the world.
No, and I do know other people who, even men. Now, I know people are out there and they're thinking, okay, this woman is crazy as a bedbug. But I do know men that have been approached and held captive, so to speak, and I believe them 100% that the female Bigfoot tried to rape them. And
whoa.
Back up on that one.
Back up. You know men that have been held captive by female Bigfoot?
Yes.
What?
Well,
yes, it happened.
Janice, you got to tell us a story.
How? That's the first question. How?
They're okay. For one, I'll take it instant. I'm not mentioning any names on air or otherwise.
Perfect.
I can put you in touch with this person, but whether or not they open up to you is a whole nother bottle of wax, so to speak.
Okay.
He was out hunting and was surrounded by the Bigfoot members. This one female basically dragged him. She beat the tar out of him, dragged him to a cave and was trying to have relationships with him. Didn't succeed, and she kept beating on him and pounding on him, and finally he did manage to get loose after a couple of days.
Couple of days?
Yes, she held him in this cave for a couple of days, and it was in one of the northern eastern states, and he managed to get away from her and got back to civilization, but he looked like he'd been ran over by a semi truck.
And do you believe this person?
I believe him 100%.
Why do you believe him 100%? Do you know him?
I know him.
Wow. So this didn't happen in Tennessee. It was in a northern state.
Yes.
And how long ago was it?
It's been about 12 years ago.
Wow.
And I do feel like I'm a little bit responsible for that in some ways, because he was one of our habituators, what we call as, people that interact with him on a regular basis, habituators.
Yeah.
And he was doing it under my directions, interacting with them. And I mean, it went from good to ugly in a heartbeat.
Oh my gosh.
I'm the first one to get attacked by a woman.
No, I mean, I'll just take this for example. Men think, okay, I'll wait a minute. Let me back up. For instance, the first time that Igor came to visit us at the old farm in 2004, he thought that if he did not bathe, and Nikki was single at the time, Foxy's and Sheba's youngest daughter, that he would entice her, and maybe she would approach him and be attracted to him, so to speak. And it took me several days to convince him that that was not a good idea.
And this was Dr. Igor Bertsif, right?
Yes.
And that's a PhD right there too. That's willing to
Yes.
try that.
I was like, Igor, no, you don't want to do this. You don't want this to happen.
Hey,
Not a good idea.
hey, what do you think our chances of getting Dr. Bertsif on the show would be? Do you think you could make that happen?
I might could. He just got back from expedition about a week ago. He's having some really fascinating interaction with some over in Russia right now. And he did manage the last time he was out here to shake their hands and interact with them, talk to them, different things. But then they decided that they would be submissive aggressive.
Are you talking about when he was here or what he's doing in Russia?
No, what he's doing in Russia right now.
So he's been
in
able
Russia
to make contact with them.
Yes, in Russia.
I'd love to talk to him about it.
It's an ongoing experience. If you all want to read up on that, he is posted in International Society of Hominology, which is a very large group that he is heading, or has been over curator of for many years, and it is on Facebook, and that's called International Society of Hominology.
Okay. All right,
And
Janice,
he's got pictures posted.
Go ahead.
I'm not trying to take away from your all's Mannimal Research. I'm just saying that if you all want to read up and catch up with him, and and see what he is currently in the midst of doing,
Oh yeah,
this is the way to do so.
Yeah, Janice, you know us that there is no taking away from Mannimal Research. We don't view this as a competition. It's not. We're all like-minded people trying to get to the bottom of something. So, I don't care.
Yes.
It does not matter to me.
Yes. And I think,
one bit.
And that I'm very selective in who I go on shows and do interviews with and everything. And I like you guys. I think you guys are fabulous.
Oh, well, thank you. Yeah, and I've heard that about you. Duke from World Bigfoot Radio told me that same thing, that Janice, that you weren't that easy to get, and that you were a real good interview. And so, yeah, I appreciate that. That's awesome. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yeah, I do have a question here from Bomber, and I think it's a pretty deep question. So let me just put it up here. It says, Janice, what do the Sasquatch say are our beginnings, humans, and how and how we got here? Thank you.
Good question.
Okay. That is a very good question. They think they were made first.
Okay.
They think that we were all made in God's image, but they were danced into being by God, basically, by the great creator, the creator of everything. They think they were here before us by, I think by a day or two. And I don't have it sitting right in front of me, but I do have their creation story. The Fox and also one that is out in Oklahoma relayed the same story to me. Albert did. But at any rate, they think that they were here first, that we were here second, and that mankind did not come directly from Adam and Eve, but that there was three types of creations: them, us, made in God's image, in the gods. That's, plural. And then Adam and Eve. And I have a tendency to believe that too, because when I read the Bible, I'm like, wait a minute. Because Cain after he kills Abel, goes to the land of Nod to find his wife. He doesn't marry his sister. He marries a woman from the land of Nod. If you look up and research that information, the people of the land of Nod were the Canaanites, the early Canaanites, and they were of extreme status, meaning that they were large. They were giants.
Okay. Now you said they have their own creation story. What did you call it?
I call it creation story.
So
Hang
would
on a
that
minute.
be
Let me
like a
put that.
Bigfoot Bible?
Well, no, but yes, it's like a historical myth, legend. I don't know what you would call it. I don't want to call it a Bible because I'm not trying to take away, and I'm not trying to mix religion with research, which
Yeah.
is because when you go to doing that, it's like if I was to go and study with Europari or something, and they have different beliefs, and this is indigenous peoples of South America. If I was to go down there and say, okay, you're going to believe in my Bible, now what's your Bible? And I don't believe a thing you're telling me. That's not the way you approach this subject if you're studying with any individuals or any people.
Okay.
But hang on, let me think what I might have done with that. Hold on just a second. Go ahead and talk and ask another question. We'll come back to that one if I can find what I've done with this.
So I'm looking for another one.
Should have put America. Where did I put that?
Sounding like the Book of Enoch, kind of, Miss Jennifer Oak said.
Is that the one that Autumn Williams wrote?
I'm not
Is that the one?
sure. And Balmer says, so they say we were danced into creation by our creator. Will you elaborate on that?
Hang on a minute. I'm trying to get to it. What it is, it's like the way it translates out is that they were made from a thought, from the imagination of the creator, and danced into being. Because it's like dancing with the one soul, the one thought, the one spirit, the one idea. And it's just,
Okay.
it's motion. It's motion. It's hard. It's sort of hard to explain. And yeah. Okay, hang on a minute. Holly, do you know what happened to that red tablet? That large one? Shoot. Anytime I go, I'm so disorganized. pathetic. I've got notes upon notes and can't find what I'm looking for. I do apologize.
Oh, you're fine.
Maybe,
I'll give you guys a thing while she's looking for that. Next week, Miss Holly will actually be on the show next week.
We are
excited
guys, about that. It's Holly. Her last name's Coy, right?
yes. Let me put her on for a minute while I look for this.
Yeah, well, we get a sneak peek at Holly. Holly will be our guest next week, and that is Janice's daughter.
If the screen wasn't frozen, we wouldn't be able to see her, but we'll be able to hopefully next week. But yeah, guys, we'll be able to ask her questions of her life growing up with her mom and the thing that she's had to go through. So it's going to be definitely tune in and share it, guys. It's going to be.
Hey, Holly, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Hey, will you do me a favor?
It's freezing up. But
yeah, do me a favor real quick. Back out. Go ahead and close it out and then come back in and see if that will refresh.
I think I'm going to do that, yeah. Okay. I'll be back in a second.
Okay. Yeah, and guys, we got to meet Holly on our expedition that we went on with Janice and the Old Bear and Old Bear's wife and Ninja Dave. It was an awesome expedition. Holly was there too, and guys, she's a pretty smart cookie. She is very, very well spoken. She's intelligent like her mama. I think you guys you're gonna enjoy it next week. She has a lot of the same abilities and gifts that her mama has, Janice, and it's going to be a really, really cool show next week. And maybe we didn't mess things up and they won't not be able to get back on. So guys, we're just being patient here. But while we've got a second, guys, awesome questions. Here's Miss Holly.
Okay.
There she is. How you doing, Holly?
I'm doing good.
Yeah, we were just.
I got it back working, and Mom's done searching, so I'm gonna hand it back to her. But thank you.
Okay. Thank you. We'll see you next week.
See you next week.
Okay. I cannot find that. I will explain this to people, and you guys already know it. I'm actually living in a hotel, extended stay hotel. I packed up a lot of things. I moved rooms. They moved us this week. And I packed up a lot of things and put them over in storage. And apparently I put a lot of my notes in storage, and that's in storage right now.
Okay.
So
okay, yeah, you've got a lot of really cool stuff that you've gained over the years. Do you still have the little book that you wrote down a lot of the words and translated?
I have 2 of those left. Over the years, my house and the places that I've lived, different places, houses that I've had and everything, have been broke into, and anything that was and just Bigfoot related stuff was stolen. They've stolen a lot of the little, the small, little notepads that my grandfather used to give me. I have only one of those left, and I have one, for better or lack of how to describe it. It's a book, an old book that didn't have any writing on the pages that I took notes in. I have those 2 left. I have a lot of, extreme amount of just spiral bound notebooks, college paper, and regular ruled paper that I've written down notes. I've taken notes for many, many years from different ones, and it's just like when we went down there and camped out, I took notes and from my opinion of what happened and what transpired down there. And it's just my personal notes.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, we're right here at an hour. So we'll go a little bit longer if you don't mind, Janice. Are you okay?
I'm fine. I'm good. I'm good to go. I got coffee.
Okay.
So if you all see me sipping on this cup, I'm gonna hold it up here.
As y'all see in the back here,
Can you see it?
that's the 10-year-old right there that actually supposedly saw something out in the woods.
It says adventure fuel. That's coffee.
Yeah, we saw your girl, Jasper.
That's one of them.
Sandra Workman, another question, says she pretty much knows some of their words by heart, doesn't she? You do, don't you?
Yes. Yes.
Quite a few, right?
Quite a few. Just off the top of my head, I could probably about 1,000 or so by heart.
Oh wow. Could you tell us a couple?
Well, okay. Here's for instance, most of them when they understand that the word for friend is, and I come with no harm, is the friend word is knock. The no harm is no hawk. Um, for instance, if they want something sweet because they love sweets, they'll ask for peanut. Peanut basically translates in their language to honey, but they also apply that to anything sweet, say a candy bar or anything that we have. SNI stands for Aisha, means a higher up. It's like a grandmother or someone of greatness and wise. Essa is the lower class. Say, for instance, the daughter-in-law. And just trying to think.
Okay,
I mean,
Stacy Clark says here, I would love to know the best way to say hi or to greet them. What would you recommend if someone like us or someone out there was going into an area where we know that there's activity and we got a good feeling that they're there? What would be something good that we could say to greet them and let them know our intentions?
talk to the woods. That's the best way to describe it. I've had people with me, and they, a lot of them are sort of amazed. Just go out there and talk in English. It's easier for you to talk in English than to try to talk their language without knowing it, because if you get the syllable the least little bit wrong, you may be saying, I'm out to kill your butt. You know, I'm
Yeah,
out,
that's true.
So it's best if you just talk in the English language, or in, say you speak Spanish, talk to them in Spanish. If you speak Russian, talk to them in Russian, because they understand our different dialects and our different languages. They're very, very bilingual. That said, I would go out there and I would greet them just like I do in an area that I don't know them. I say, hello, I'm here to interact with you. I'd like to get to know you. I mean you no harm. Please come and interact with us and introduce yourself. I don't go chasing them around. I let them come to me. It's not good to try to chase after them.
You hit it right on the nose, Janice. That's what I've always said on this channel. The best way, in my opinion, and I think you just backed it up, the best way to have an interaction with these things and to learn about them is to let them come to you. Just go camping. Just do your normal routine. Go camping and they will come see you. It's doing no good. If you go tromping through the woods in your camo, your ghillie suit, and all that stuff looking for them, you're not going to find them.
No. I mean, the only reason that I go even tromping through the woods, and I like to do it in the daytime, and William knows this, but we'll stay out after dark a lot of times and just drive around, but or looking for ground sticks or signs, of them being in the area. But I can drive along any given highway, and eventually I'm going to run into a sign of theirs. And that's just the honest truth. So I know that they're there, or they're close enough by, and generally, yeah, they'll come and they'll interact with you if they want to. If they don't, leave them alone, because they're probably going to become aggressive if you don't leave them alone.
Okay. Yeah, good advice. So, you would recommend going out and just speaking speak English, your native tongue. Would you recommend saying it out loud, or do you believe in the telepathy, the thinking it? What do you think is better?
Okay, you're breaking up. Do I believe in what?
Do you think it's better to go out and speak, like physically speak the way we're speaking now, or to think it, the telepathy?
It's good to think it. And here's a misconception. Everybody thinks that if one of them's telepathic, that all of them are telepathic. That is not the truth. Some of them do not have that capability to be telepathic, to telepath with you. Other ones do. It's just
Wow,
like,
I've
for
never
instance,
considered that.
oh, okay. Well, here's a new bottle of wax to open. Okay. So, for instance, when I was down there with you at an undisclosed location, and we went to the ones at this lady and gentleman's house, I talked out loud to them. And I think you all observed me doing so.
Yeah.
And that's the approach I take. We know that they were there. We knew they were there. The evidence was there that they were there. I mean, you all heard the tree being pushed over earlier that day when you were there and everything. And all I did was go out there and start talking, like I do wherever I go.
Jennifer Oakes wants to know: do you have dark entities following you or introducing in your life? Intruding. I'm sorry, not introducing. Intruding in your life.
I have before. Not right now at the present time, but I have. I not only a lot of people don't know this about me. I not only interact with the Bigfoot and do the Bigfoot research. I have been ghost hunting, so to speak. I guess that's what you call it. With some very close friends of mine, they do have what they call the EVP, electronic voice things, and I have had some things follow me home, so to speak, that I didn't want here, want near me or anything. There is a way to cast them out spiritually and to be done with them, and you generally don't have many problems.
Okay. I put this one up here. Another comment. Jennifer Oakes said, "Into the Veil said the same thing. Introduce yourself and asking if you can come in." I put this up because Into the Veil is actually Rachel King, and Rachel and her husband Ken King will be coming on not next week because that's Holly, but the following week. So 2 weeks from tonight, we're going to have Ken and Rachel King back. Ken's channel is Arkansas Bigfoot, and Rachel King, his wife, is Into the Veil, and they are awesome people. They, just like Janice, they know their stuff. So they aside from Janice, they're probably the most requested. Janice and them are the most requested people that we have. So just wanted to give that little plug real quick.
Thank you. Okay, thank you. Yeah, they're exactly right. Ask if you can go in. I mean, that's their home. The minute you walk out your door, you're entering their home, their house. Ask to be invited in. Don't go. I mean, you wouldn't want them coming in. Trust me, you do not want them coming into your house and going through your things. They'll make an awful mess. That said, I don't want some stranger that I am not acquainted with coming into my house and snooping through my things. And we get out there and we're going in the woods and we're looking at their structures and their, say for instance, their teepees, their stretchers, their ground markers, their little intricately woven masterpieces, the writings. And we're intrusive, very intrusive. And we don't ask permission. Hey, do you mind if we trespass or we come in and visit?
Yes.
Yeah, it goes,
Awesome.
I
Great
mean,
point.
it goes a long way being courteous.
Yeah. Yeah, those are really, really good points. Yeah, we are about 10 minutes after an hour. Janice, I'm glad we have this relationship with you. You are an honorary member of Manimal. You help us out anytime we need it, and we appreciate it. And I'm sure that we're going to have you back if you don't mind.
I don't mind. And next week, Holly's going to be on there, and she can tell her own stories.
Right.
Yeah.
Can't wait for that. It's gonna be great.
We're looking forward to Miss Holly being on next week, because I know that she's got some really cool stuff to share too, and you'll be right there with her in case she needs any help. I'm sure.
Yes.
Okay. All right, Janice. Again, thank you so very much for being on, and I hope you guys have a good night.
Okay, you all too, and a good night to everybody out there, and thank you for joining us and listening in and asking your questions.
Awesome. Very well said, Janice. We'll see you later, okay?
Okay.
Bye.
Have a good one. Good night.
How awesome is Janice, guys?
Dude, just think, when you first started this, got me in this and everything, you said, hey, pick out 50 years of Bigfoot. We're sitting here listening. What would it think we'd have her as an honorary member and even being a close friend?
Yeah.
You would like, that's almost like that's like us knowing, like, well, I mean, I've met Peyton Manning when I was a baby, but not actually, actually coming up next to him and, hey, man, what you doing? And now we got Janice Carter. I mean,
I remember that. I took you to pick up a car that you had bought, the first Mustang that you had. I took you to Cleveland to get it, and I said, "Man, you got to listen to this. Check this story out." And it was on YouTube, the 50 years with Bigfoot with Mary Green, and you were hooked. Next time I talked to you, you would listen to all 13 episodes or whatever. And to think now that I consider Janice a friend. To think now that I can consider her a friend, and she's been on the show a couple times and gives us all advice and helps us out. It means a lot. It really does. I appreciate everything she does for us.
Definitely.
You got anything else before we get off here, buddy?
Yeah, guys, I've looked back in the thing in there, and it shows that we are at 878. We need 122 more subscribers, guys, to make that 1,000 before Christmas. All I say is the challenge is still there. Share this. Let everybody know what we're doing, how we're doing it. As you see, I'm a normal person. I'm getting off work, coming doing the show, and having fun with you guys. Even asking crazy, out of the ballpark questions.
Talking about Bigfoot junk.
But this is how it is, guys. We're down to earth. We're kind of plugging the show, but that's the way we are. We wanted to be straight, have fun, enjoy it. If you do go out, make sure you go with somebody. Normal thing, go out and have fun with it. Don't go out there on a mission going, oh, I got to find this. Just go out and play normal. I mean, we go out there. Yeah, we're there. We know in our head we're there looking for them. But most time, we're chilling around the fire. We're talking. We're trying to, let them feel comfortable around us. Let them know that we're not going to hurt them. And then we go out and walk around, do a lot of hiking. Let them know, hey, we're here, man. We're not here to hurt you.
Yeah.
Come say hi. Come shake my hand.
Yeah, you want to shake a Bigfoot's hand. I know you do.
Well, yeah, I already shook it, but
Want to give a shout out. We just had her pulled up here, Miss Jennifer Oakes. Jennifer actually went to our website not long before the show came on and did her little contact thing on our website to get some information about joining up. So about getting out in the woods out in California, I believe is where she's at. So yeah, hey Jennifer, letting you know we got it, and going to talk to Daryl about that and get him in touch with you. And yeah, guys, be like Jennifer, hit our website up and send us a message. We will get in touch with you, and let's just keep it moving, guys.
You got us a question on there from Scottish Wildman.
Would you be willing to go on other researchers' channels? Absolutely, we have. I don't know about researchers. We did Bigfoot Odyssey about a year ago now. It was last December. We were on it, and we've done a couple other shows. So yeah, we do it.
I think you've done several with Eric, and his name up there in
Daniel Benoit. Yeah, the founder of the ECBRO. I help him from time to time with his show. Daniel's a great guy. So yeah, we've done shows before.
If I have the time, yes, I don't mind doing it all. I mean, I got on what was the show we went on a while back here? We went together.
We've done Gary Robusto up New York Bigfoot Society. We've done that. I've done Vic Cundiff, done his show. So yeah, we've been on.
We had the guy out there in California. He's at 2 p.m. I see his thing.
Yeah, he's not really a researcher. That is Gypsy Road. Awesome guys.
Yeah.
Awesome guys. We've been on their show a couple times to go on and talk about Bigfoot, but we're tooting our own horn. We don't need to do that. That was a long answer to your question, Wild Man. All right, guys.
We're in Tennessee, Big Mama. We're Tennessee and Georgia area, basically, is where we're at. She was asking what state we're in.
Yeah, I live in Tennessee, and Walls lives in Georgia, but we're only 20 minutes away from each other. We both live on the line.
Yep.
So we got areas in Tennessee and in Georgia, but we have teams in Missouri and in Virginia. Got a couple of guys up in New York that we correspond with. So yeah, we're all over. We'll talk to anybody in any state about getting out and doing some research.
Yeah.
Yes, you get on. Barry Webb. Barry has been on our show. Barry's an awesome guy.
And we've also had Daniel on the show too.
Did what?
We've had Daniel on the show too.
Benoit?
Yeah.
Yeah, Daniel's been on a couple times. Yeah, Barry's an awesome guy. He's one that I really want to get back. I'm been meaning to see him, send him a text, and see if we can get him back. Yeah, I really like Barry. He's a character. He's a good guy. All right, now we're getting off here.
I got to finish my supper, so yeah, I'm hungry.
All right, you ready to go, bud?
Yeah, gotta get up early, head to Chattanooga, finish up, and then go to Cummins. So,
all right, I want to thank everybody for joining us tonight. Had Janice back on for part 2, and she'll be back for a part 3, and we'll have Holly on next week for her part 1.
Yeah, bring the questions, guys. This is going to be a good one. This will be Holly's actually probably her first show in a way, probably.
Yeah, it might be her first show.
So let's make it a good one, guys. Get everybody in here, subscribe, get us that 1,000. That's a big present for Big Wayne there. Get him 1,000 subscribers on this channel.
That's right. Guys, we appreciate it. Thank you all. Thank you so much for all the questions, the comments. You guys are awesome. Thank you. And the show's growing, and it's because of you, and we appreciate it, guys. Y'all have a good night. Take care of each other, and just be good to each other. We'll see you next time.